Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bdforex YouTube channel. I hope you're all well and I hope you've all had a good trading month, as it's been a month since I've last made a video and updated the YouTube channel, and it also marks exactly 1 month since the Bdforex community opened. So the reason for today's video is I want to basically give you a glimpse and an insight into what actually happens and what goes on inside the Bdforex community. Now I'm getting a lot of messages and a lot of interest of what exactly happens, sort of the trade setups that we have, the educational material, and basically what goes on. People want to see what's happening and they want to get a little taster and see. So the reason of today's video is to sort of give you that glimpse. I'm going to take you through some of the trading history in the past month, and go over the trade setups, the trades that we've taken, how many pips we've made, and anything to do, all of that sort of type of stuff. So here is the Bdforex website. For anyone who's asking, this is where you can see what is included within the Bdforex community, and here you can see a breakdown of what you get on a daily, weekly, and monthly on a monthly basis. So basically what I do, guys, is every single morning I create a video breaking down a market. I analyze all of the market at all times, and every morning I create a sort of watch list and I analyze 10 plus pairs and break it down for everybody every single morning, keeping us up to date with every pair. Not necessarily to trade all of them, but I just keep you a wide range of what's happening in the market so you can understand why certain currencies are moving against other currency pairs, and then I sort of give you my top picks every day to give you what I'm looking for, my favorite trades for the day, and what I'm going to be looking out for. So we're on top of the market straight away first thing in the morning. So that's the morning call. Now the real-time market update is following the morning call. If I, for instance, have a trade like Euro USD, which I'll come to, where we had a few nice trades in the past month. For instance, in the morning call, if we're around this sort of region here, and I say I'm expecting Euro USD to fall a little bit lower before taking a long trade, then once we reach this sort of level here, as I'll highlight, then I will send a real-time market update to say, hey guys, we're sort of at that region that I spoke about in the morning call. This is what you to look out for. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for long trade, and I'll give like a stop loss placement, take profit, and what my market bias is and what I think the market's going to do. So again, you're being kept up to date, and also you're also being kept up to date with all fundamental news that's happening. So if there's any fundamentals coming out during the day, many people are at work or they're busy or they're away from the charts, I am updating all the time, letting you know when the fundamentals are happening, where they're happening, from what country, and basically giving you the results of that as well. So you're being kept up to date with the market all the time, in real time, sent through to keep you up to date all the time. Then following that, you have an evening call, as you can see here, and then what this does is at the end of the trading day, just like the morning call is about a 20-minute video, the evening call, 20 minutes, sometimes more, video basically reviewing the market. So again, I'll use Euro US dollar as an example. For instance, if we took a long trade in Euro USD and we moved up about, let's say 80 pips, in the evening call, if we're at this level, I will say, review what's happened. Obviously, we'll say, okay, we're in a nice long trade, we're looking bullish. This is what I expect to happen tomorrow or during the night. We've got news coming out tomorrow that might affect this, where our take profit should be, and basically help you manage that trade so you understand how to manage trades while you're in them, which is one of the most important things that you need to learn, because it's one thing getting into a trade, but it's managing how to manage that trade, how long to hold on to that trade so you can get every last pip and sort of make as much money or much profit from that trade as possible. Then we have live webinars and trading. So next week we're going to have a live webinar for the group, which is going to have questions and answers. We're going to just be doing more educational material, seeing what people want and what they need help on the most, and then spending some time on those subjects and going into them in more detail. And then Sniper Sundays is happening every single Sunday, and it's a half hour to an hour breakdown of the market, analysing the market and giving us an idea of what to expect for the week ahead. So loads and loads of information, but on each video I break down the charts, and it's such a great way to learn, because rather than looking at past history on books and so on, when the market is actually moving and you're seeing real-time price action, you're seeing real candlesticks that you need to learn, and when you're being told what they are as and when they're happening, and explaining why you want to take a trade on the real-time market, it hits home so much quicker, and the learning curve is so much faster. Rather than looking through past history, looking at old charts, it's very easy to analyze an old chart and say, oh, this happened, that's why that happened. But when it's happening in real time, as many people know with trades, it's very hard to figure that out and what's going to happen next, because you might think one thing's happening, but then another happens. So learning real time, keeping up to date, every morning, every day, every evening, saying, right, this is what's happened, this is why this has happened, this is what's going to happen next, and seeing that play out, as I said, really makes that learning curve so much shorter. And what we've seen from the group in the past month, and the learning curve, and how much people are taking on board, is actually unbelievable. Because not only are we taking trades as a community, the community are actually, loads and loads of members are now sending me trades that they've taken off their own back. So basically the things that I've taught them, I've got my strategy, my rules, and I've also got lots of tips that are coming daily, because the market does something new every day. So every time something new happens, I point this out, say this is important to memorize, this is going to be important for the future. And then people are seeing what I'm telling them on other pairs or other charts, and taking trades and getting sniper entries and using the risk management tools that I give, and it's unbelievable to see the growth in such a short space of time. So now I'm just going to quickly run over, as I said, like 10 plus pairs. It's what I do on every morning, every evening. I'm going to go over not every single pair we've taken, because we'd be here for a long time, but I'm going to give you some of the main trades to show you basically how this month has gone. So Euro USD, we had a really nice trade back a few weeks ago. We looked like Euro US dollar might be making a new low down here, but I identified that we were seeing some weakness, explained to the group the setup, and we took a nice long trade from down here, and that trade by itself made 200 pips with a nice bullish move to the upside. Now then, when we got up to this level here, you can see on this trend line coming across my screen, we had this breakout. This breakout was actually, this push up here was actually on non-farm payroll on a Friday. So on the Sunday following, 2 days later, I explained to the team or the community on our Sniper Sundays what I was planning to see the following week, which was looking for a short trade. Now we were all set up for it, we were waiting for it. Monday, Tuesday we saw a push down, but I think it was on the Wednesday we then came back up and we took the short trade from the area I'm showing now. Had that sniper trade, and anyone watching me on Instagram would have seen that sniper trade where I was holding that for 150 pips, and lots of the community members. So we had that nice short trade here with a nice tight stop, and yeah, we rode this all the way down and made 150 pips. So within the last month, just on Euro USD alone, we made 350 pips. GBP AED was a really nice trade. I identified this on the evening call, explained to the community what to look out for on the next day. And in the morning, I think we woke up, price pulled back to the price that I wanted to get in at. We took a long trade here, and this is now currently 250 pips in profit, and it's still looking good. So that's 250 pips just on GBP AED alone. GBP USD was a bit choppy. We were sort of in this range, which I'll point out more clearly in a second. But we had a trade earlier in the group this was the first trade, and this was a great sniper trade for the community. I think on the first week or the first day, we entered right on this candlestick. See this candlestick here? We entered right on that, and we made about 100 pips on that trade. A nice move up to the upside. Let me just zoom back out to the 4 hour. So yeah, nice move up to the upside. Had that resistance that you can see. There's a nice 100 pip move. Then we came back down. We'll just move this one out of the way. More or less back to the same level again, as you can see. Took another long trade back up into resistance, taking profit around these areas for another 100 pip trade. and then we obviously saw a move down. You can see here, as I was saying, a little bit of a range with GBP USD. Broke out a bit down to the downside and pushing back up now. But you can see here coming into next week, which would be quite interesting, is coming back up to that resistance level once again. So again, another couple of hundred pips from GBP USD. GBP JPY started off the group very early in the month with a nice 90 pip trade there. Then we came down, identified a long trade down here. A lot of the team got in at this level, which was up like 150 pips, as you can see here. But then we had a pullback for anyone who didn't get in this original trade, any new members and so on. We had a pullback here and identified another long trade here, which again moved up to the upside for about 100 pips. So done really well on GBP JPY as well. USD JPY at the very beginning of the group, we had a nice 90 pip move to the upside here, and from these lows, nice sniper entry. Then we saw some rejection from the 110 level and a nice big move down. And ever since then, we've been in a 2-week consolidation on GBP USD JPY. We've had some nice long trades from here that the community had, but we keep hitting our head on this resistance. So nice 60 to 80 pip trade up to the upside, but inevitably we've broken out of the trend of that consolidation zone down to the downside, and we are eyeing up trades on this for next week for the community. USD CAD, really nice pair for us in the last month. So at the beginning of the community, we had quite a choppy week. Most of the major pairs only ranged between 80 and 100 pips. There was a lot of choppiness. There was no fundamentals to help push price in the right direction. So we saw a lot of choppiness for about a week and a half. Even though we had that, you can see here, this range that you see on USD CAD was actually about 3 or 4 weeks long. But we had a push up, fake out to the upside, which we identified. And then I gave a short trade setup here. You can see from the top here, we dropped all the way down to my weekly support level at 1.3250. That gained us, on this short trade, 275 pips from here down to the support level. 275 pips. Now if I just remove that, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, if I remove this, once we got to this bottom, I then identified another trade, which was a nice long trade here, off the support of 1.32500, and from there we gained 170 pip move to the upside. So in total, 450 pips on USD CAD in the last month. Aussie dollar, the first week in the group, had a nice long trade on this. We had a long trade of 140 pips, eventually up to the upside, so that was nice. And we also had a nice trade on NZD USD, hitting off support of 0.6500 key weekly level, and we pushed up another 180 pips to the upside. Loads and loads of the community got this trade. One of the best trades, or well, it was the best trade, was oil. Now, some of you guys who would have been watching my Sniper Sundays, the last 2 episodes, I think, 2 to maybe 3, I was talking about taking short trades on US oil for a long time, and just could see that we were setting up for a short trade. Now, people on Instagram would have seen that I entered right at the very top here, and then we had a nice 100, 200 pipped out push to the downside. And then on Sniper Sundays, I continued to tell people to look for short trades. When we broke through the $63 a barrel level here, explained to come back up, and when we were at that level, to look for a short trade. So lots of people caught a short trade off that before the community even opened. Now, when the community opened, we saw that we pushed down. We kept pushing, and waited, bided our time. Then when we see that we finally found some support round here, again, explained it to the group to look for a long trade before this happened. Explained why and where and how, and we took this long trade. As anyone on Instagram following me would have seen this, we had this monster 650 pip move to the upside in just 9 trading days, I believe it was. Let's just have a look here. Obviously fundamentals helped this, but I could see the fundamentals playing out and certain things going on in the world which could affect the price of oil. So along with price action, the technical analysis and fundamental analysis needs to be used together, and that's part of what the group is about. Understanding what the fundamentals are, seeing the technicals, and seeing how they merge together to make the trades. Now here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 trading days, 650 pips. Really nice trade. Loads of the members in this as well. As you see me keep posting and reposting stuff on my Instagram. So yeah, really good week, and I think that brings us up to about 3,000 pips for the whole week. Now I'm just going to go to Euro GBP and gold, because I just want to go over these quickly and just be completely transparent. We've had 4 weeks of trading, and we took a small loss on Euro GBP. I think we were short around these levels here. We took about a 50 pip loss, but then we took a new short trade on this at this level, and we made those 50-60 pips back straight away. So we had one loss on Euro GBP, and then also on Euro GBP, you see what 70 pips here. We actually I gave out a short trade right from this tip here. Nice sniper trade there. Came down about 70 pips. So we made another 70 pips on this trade. So we had 70 pips here. We had about another 50-60 pips when we took a short trade from the 0.8900 resistance level. So that double made more than what we lost back double. So we lost 60 pips on the trade, but then we made 150 pips back. So that's one loss we had on Euro GBP, and we had one loss on gold. We had a short trade on gold back, let me just see, I think it was back around these areas somewhere, may have been around here. We had about a 50 pip loss on gold, but then again, on this week alone, we had, let me see here, where was it? On just this week alone on gold, we had a nice, yeah, it was here, sorry. This week alone, I waited to give the group the correct time. A lot of people looking at taking shorts on gold or these levels around here. We waited, took a short trade right at the tip here, and we made 110 to 120 pips within a couple of seconds as we came down. So again, any loss that I had on gold, which was about 50-60 pips, has been made back double with trades that we've won. So in 4 weeks, we've had all of these trades that I've shown you, plus more. There's a lot of little trades that we've been in, and the only losses we've had were those two losses: a loss on Euro GBP and a loss on gold. So obviously, no one wins 100% of the trades 100% of the time. We have to obviously be aware of that, and because of that, one of the main things that my community is taught is about risk management and about how to handle your trades. As I said, managing trades is one of the most crucial things that you can do, because you can win lots and lots of trades. You can continue to win. You can win 10 trades in a row. If you don't have risk management, one trade can wipe you out, take you out, lose all your money. And that's what happens to a lot of retail traders, unfortunately. But you need to get your risk management intact. It's the most crucial thing to anybody's trading to becoming successful and to make money constantly in the market. If you have no risk management, yes, you can have a good week, you can have a good month, but then ultimately your account will get hit big time with just one bad trade. So you can have 10 good trades, one bad trade will wipe you out. Whereas with risk management and the way that I trade, we very rarely lose. You can see over a 4-week period, we've had 2 losses, and you can see the amount of wins that we've had. So even if we had the same amount of losses as our wins, we still would be in profit because our risk management is so good. But luckily, in our case, that's not the case. We're 80-90% profitable at all times, and you can see over the trades over the past month, it's 90% plus. So that was on the back of a very choppy start to the community. The first 2 weeks on the back end of May was very choppy, the beginning of June. But still, over a month or over a week, there's always profit being made in the group. That is the main thing. But also, on top of the 3,000 pips or whatever that amount is, because it's a lot, as I keep saying to the group, it's not about the pips or the profit that's being made. The knowledge that people are gaining in this group is worth 100 times of those pips, because you're learning to be able to do this in the future by yourself and constantly make money in the markets, constantly identify areas like this, take long trades, take short trades, and that is worth more than its weight in gold. Yes, obviously, 500 pips in a week or a lovely trade on US oil, 600 pips in 1 week is great, but what's even more valuable is the understanding of why and how to take that trade. That's where the real value is. So then in however months, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever, you'll become a profitable trader and you're trading by yourself and you're identifying all of these things on the market. You have a complete understanding of the fundamentals, the technicals, how the market works, risk management, the whole package, and that is what you need to become a successful trader. So I hope that helps everybody who wanted to have a bit of an insight into how the Bdforex community works. As I said, if you are interested in joining up, you can only do that through the Bdforex website, and you can access through the access page. So hope that clears a lot of things up for people. Any questions that you've had, I hope that answers them. Yeah, hopefully if you want to join up, just shoot us a message or send us an email. But a very good first month, and we are now about to start the second month in the community, and there's also lots of stuff that I'm updating for the community as well. So obviously we have the key things here. We've got the webinar next week, but there's a lot of other stuff that I've got coming up for the community, which I keep dropping in. Just keep things exciting, updates, constantly giving back to community, because it's so good to see so many people grow and excel and doing so well. So we're going to keep that up and keep the tempo, and I'm going to keep bringing out lots of exciting stuff and new things for the community to help them out. So as I said, I hope that answers all your questions. Hope you have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.